Welcome to the first ever episode of Drewsday on the Drew 11 channel. The Drew 11 era has officially begun. So today, guys, we're going to be doing a preview on our upcoming match against Brighton and Hove Albion at Old Trafford this Saturday. There's a couple of things that I want to go over, some key points on this upcoming match, because it's not going to be an easy one. Even though we beat the league favorites for this season, those frauds in red, this Brighton team is, I would say, probably going to be even more challenging than the game that we had against Liverpool. So if we look at this upcoming lineup, Brighton is playing a 4-2-3-1 under Fabian Herzler, and it seems to have been working very well, because if we look at the last 5 games that Brighton played, they've been undefeated. 2-2 against Tottenham, easily beat Barnsley, beat Chelsea with, a man advantage like we did. They tie against Wolverhampton Wanderers, which is a very shaky result because Wolves are in 20th place. They're in the relegation zone, and they somehow did not get 3 points against Wolves. So that more or less makes me confident that maybe they'll replicate that same thing at Old Trafford. We'll have to see. What worries me is that they did beat Newcastle. Newcastle, I rate that team under Eddie Howe, bro. Eddie Howe has transformed that team and just made them play better football ever since he came in. And also, Nick Woltemade was a great signing for them up top. He could potentially be one of the best forwards in the Premier League this season. But, Brighton were able to get that over the line with a Danny Welbeck brace. And that'll be one of the key things that we need to focus on containing this upcoming or Saturday. Because Danny Welbeck, he's good with his head. He's good with his feet. I would say he's probably in the peak of his career right now. Our back three is going to have some trouble. He's probably going to be a problem for him, especially with Maguire, De Ligt, and Shaw. You never know, especially Minte on this right side. I feel like he's going to be the biggest problem of them all. I've seen Minte play. He's on my FPL team. That's why I chose him. He's so dangerous. But he's got the speed. He's super pacey. And this guy can create. This guy can cross. This guy is really good on 1v1s. I really don't know. Whoever's going to start on that left side, whether it be Dalot or Patrick Dorgu, they're going to have some problems containing Minte. Minte, I would say, is Brighton's best player so far. Luckily, Mitoma is out with a foot injury. It's doubtful that he'll probably come off the bench, but he won't be at 100%. But one thing that I need to tell you guys is that this Brighton team, we have not beat them. We've not beat Brighton for 3 years. The last time we beat Brighton at Old Trafford was February of 2022, while Ralph Rangnick was our manager. That's not a really good sign going into this game. We've been beaten by 3 different Brighton managers in the past 3 years. We've been beaten by Graham Potter at the beginning of Eric Ten Hag's debut in the Premier League. We lost to Roberto De Zerbi the following season. And then we lose to Fabian Herzler's team by the same scoreline, 3-1. So this game is not going to be easy at all. It's going to be a rough and tug match. We may not score that many goals, but I think with the quality of this team that we have, with the upgrade with Mbeumo, Cunha, and Šeško up top, we could definitely be getting more chances. But we'll see how they deal with the back line of Van Hecke and Dunk. I mean, I know Šeško can easily give him a battle because he's strong, he's their height. He'll definitely do good. But I wonder if Ruben Amorim is thinking very differently and thinking different tactics about this by starting Cunha up top. Maybe he's thinking maybe we can have better link-up play to get through Brighton's defense instead of just relying on pure grit and strength from Šeško and getting crosses in, where maybe a majority of them will be clearances, like header clearances from Van Hecke and Dunk. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how this right side with Mbeumo and Ahmad will link up. Brighton tend to be that team that high presses every single time they lose the ball and try to catch their opponents off guard. That'll be very interesting because this midfield battle with Bruno and Casemiro against Baleba and Ayari, player for player, obviously Fernandes and Casemiro should be the better midfield pivot. But if they lose that ball in the middle and Baleba or Ayari steal that ball and they're on the counter, that could be really dangerous for us. That could exploit us. One of my key factors to winning this game is we have to somehow contain Minte on that right side. We have to contain Welbeck, obviously. How do we do that? We got to cover that space. We got to cover the space because once Minte sees space, he turns into an Olympic sprinter, bro. I've never seen a player in the Premier League have such an explosive start on 1v1 dribbling. This guy can literally damage you. This guy can burn you on the wing. So, I'm scared to see that matchup, whether it be Dalot or Dorgu on that left side going 1v1 against Minte. Yeah. Good luck, because Minte is he's gonna make sure that he's past you every single time. But I think what we need to do to contain Minte is we need to have a double on him. We can't just be one person, because Minte, I rate him. I rate him as a winger. He is so dangerous. I feel like he's one of the most underrated wingers in this league. But offensively, I'm not too worried. I know that this front three can link up very well, whether that be Šeško, Cunha, and Mbeumo, or Mount. We can definitely be creating a lot of chances. Get at least 2 goals against this Brighton team, because I know that we can get at least a couple goals against them. Maybe not 3, maybe not 4, but definitely at least 2. I really don't know if we're going to keep a clean sheet against this Brighton team, because in the last 3 games, they scored at least 2 goals against us. And that was with 3 different managers. So who knows what Fabian Herzler is going to be cooking up in this matchup. So right now, this is one of the primary sections of the pre-match build-up for our game against Brighton, where I do my starting 11. Drew 11's starting 11, let's say. So up top, this is the same lineup that was that we did against Liverpool on Sunday. So obviously, I'm gonna put Lamens in there. He's there, guys. He's been our best keeper since David De Gea left the club on a free. He's been our best keeper since David De Gea. Let that sink in. Why would I switch out Lamens for Binder? That's crazy. Obviously, I'm going to keep De Ligt in there. He's been really good for us in the back line. Now, here's the thing. Who would I choose between Shaw and Maguire? Because I do rate Lenny Euro, and we definitely need pace in that back line, because Brighton are a counter-attacking team, and they thrive on chaos. So we need to be smart with how we do this back line. With Shaw was definitely good last game. I really do not know, guys. I think I'd keep Harry Maguire. I think he deserves to be in that back line in the middle. We'll have to see, because the options that we have are Mazraoui and Lenny Euro. If I were to pick, I would pick Lenny to be in that back three with Maguire and De Ligt. On this left side with Dalot, he didn't have the best game against Liverpool on Sunday. He was okay in the last couple of minutes in the second half, but I just feel like he fell off. So I am going to have to put in Patrick Dorgu as that left wing back. Especially, we need pace. We need pace on that left side, especially to match up with Yankuba Minte's speed. I think Dorgu can handle him for as much as he can, hopefully for 80 plus minutes, and then we can get fresh legs on there by putting in Mazraoui or Dalot. But I think Dorgu should get the start this game, especially on that left side to contain Minte. I'll keep the same midfield with Casemiro, Fernandez, and Ahmad. We definitely need Ahmad for this game on that right side to link up with Mbeumo up top. Now here's the thing with Cunha and Mount. The thing is, both of them did really well, especially Cunha in the second half. Wow. It just depends on how Ruben Amorim wants to approach this game. If he wants to approach it by being direct and have the attack built around Šeško, or if we want to link up with Mount, Cunha, and Mbeumo like we did against Liverpool, which was a really good strategic plan from him. I'll give credit to Amorim on that. But I think if we're wanting to have a very energetic team against this Brighton side, then maybe Mount and Cunha could be the answer to the remaining front three. This is going to be my front three, guys. I'm going to stick with more or less the lineup that we had against Liverpool, except I just made 2 changes with putting Dorgu and Euro in that starting 11. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this starting 11. The final segment of this episode, I want to do a match prediction. Even though Brighton have beaten us at Old Trafford for the last 3 times, it's going to be a tough game. We did get a big result at Liverpool on Sunday, which was huge for us, huge to build momentum. It was Ruben Amorim's first back-to-back wins, which is a positive sign that this United squad is progressing. So if they can replicate that same energy, that same form from the last 2 games against this Brighton side, I could see us getting at least a point from this game, especially the game being at Old Trafford. The fans are going to be up for it. I know that the players are going to be up for it because the players seem to be 100% Ruben in, which is good. So my final score, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win for Manchester United. This Brighton team is going to be relentless. They are going to be pressing. They're going to be aggressive. But I think this United side, they're not going to want to lose. They're not going to want to, dip in form after that big win against Liverpool, against their rivals, which they haven't won at Anfield in 9 years. And by the way, we need a win for Frank. That guy needs to cut his hair soon. Anyways, guys, let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. What your thoughts are about the starting 11, about the match prediction, and what are your guys' predictions for this upcoming match against Brighton. If you like this video, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday on the next Drewsday show.